If you've ever wondered how long should sex last, is there such a thing as too short, too long? Well, today we are going to explore why you want it to last for at least 30 minutes or maybe even push it to 45 minutes. And before you tune this video out because you're like, 30 minutes? That's way too long. Just stick with us because we are going to give you really good reasons. And if you haven't yet done it, you should feel compelled to give lovemaking a long time the next time you give it a try. I am Céline Remy, the Intimacy Angel.
And I'm Kevin Anthony, the Truth Warrior. And if you do not consistently make love for at least 30 minutes, then you better make sure that you like, share, and subscribe.
So let's start with the number one thing why you would want to start to lengthen the duration of your lovemaking. Now, by the way, lovemaking doesn't have to be a jackhammering session, heart pounding like crazy. It could be something much more mellow. It doesn't have to be this most vigorous sexual activity. It could be something.
But it could be.
It could be, but it doesn't have to be. I just wanted you to have the reframe, because if you're thinking you're gonna have to work at it so hard and then like you're not in good physical shape, it's gonna be too hard. Well, number one, get in shape. Number two, it doesn't have to be this marathon. You can make it a little bit like pace yourself, let's put it this way. But the first thing to consider is that for most women and men also, but I'm going to talk from the women's perspective, it takes us about 20 minutes to relax into sex. We have this thing called diffuse awareness, which means that we can connect on so many different things at once. This is what makes us good at taking care of our kids and fixing lunch and doing the laundry and thinking about work and being a sexy lover that we are. But when it comes to bringing it all into the lovemaking, men are much more single focused. So when they're in the lovemaking, it's easier for them to zoom in and be into it. For us, we still have the diffuse awareness and we have to learn to hone all of this in and focus. I've noticed that for myself, it takes about 20 minutes, really, realistically, for me to be able to like get out of my head, start enjoying my body and the sensations.
Yeah, and we've talked about this many, many times on podcasts and other YouTube videos in the studies that were done about how long it takes for men to orgasm versus women. We know that for men, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. For women, it's 20 to 30 minutes. So when you understand that a woman is going to take, anywhere from at least 10 to maybe 20 minutes just to be able to relax enough that she could even consider getting to an orgasm, that's a very compelling reason for you to last a whole lot longer than 7 minutes.
That's for sure. Now, there's something really special that happens when you've been in lovemaking for a sustained period of time. It's about around the 45 minutes mark that you can get into more of an altered state. That's free, it does not require drugs or anything from the outside. Your body starts to produce different chemicals, and I think just from being in it for long enough, suddenly the reality as you know it and all the things you have to do and the stuff that you always focus on kind of disappear in the background, and you're so much more present with what is happening with your body, with the sensations. I notice that I can get really dizzy and altered. That's just like, it happens, but it does not happen when you go through this quickly. It's a build-up that only happens with enough time.
Yeah, now this is one of those things that we talk about all the time with clients. We talk about it in videos, and a lot of people kind of roll their eyes and go, I don't understand what they're talking about. The reason why you don't understand is because you've never actually experienced it. You don't know what you don't know. So if you haven't experienced this, you're gonna have to trust us. When you get to that mark, that 40, 45 and beyond mark, of really moving that sexual energy between the two of you, something magical really does happen that you just can't get to in the shorter lovemaking sessions. Even if you do it all the time in your longer ones, you're probably not going to get there in the shorter ones. So you're going to have to trust us on this one, but it is pure magic and you really should experience it if you haven't.
And if you haven't experienced it, or you've been thinking, have I, or if you're doubting it, then you haven't. That's just it.
Right.
You know, because you know.
If you're not sure, it didn't happen.
And by the way, just having 45 minutes of penetration sex does not guarantee that you reach the states either. You know, I just want to make that clear as well, because you can have those expectations that happens from letting go, from surrendering, from being in the present, and sometimes it's easier to do than other times.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a couple more for you real quick. One is, you know, guys are always like, I want to have sex, I want to have sex, I want to have sex. Why is that? Because it feels good, right? Well, if it feels good, wouldn't you want to enjoy that feel-good sensation for as long as you want to? So if you're like, man, sex is so good, man, I want to have sex, I always want to have sex, and then it's only 7 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, if you go for it so quickly, it's just, yeah, it feels good, but short-lived. You could take this, like, rather than going for like this fast food thing that like fills you up but you feel pretty empty very fast because it goes through you, you could go for like a 5-course meal, a buffet, a most gorgeous platter of foods in front of you. You know, I mean, what would you choose?
I know what I would choose.
I know what I would choose too, you know. Well, let's talk to you about what happens for women in terms of reaching new levels and reaching also places with female ejaculation. If you have a longer penetration time in lovemaking, there are much more chances for her to get to that female ejaculation place. But it only happens from having enough stimulation in enough time to be in the zone, for everything to get engorged, to respond, and for her and how she knows her bodies as well. So you've got to give it enough time. This whole focus of like, how can I get as quickly as possible to the finish line does not make you a winner.
Well, and here's the thing. Now, some women have the goal of wanting to female ejaculate, and sometimes clients will come to you and say, I want to learn how to female ejaculate. But guys seem to always want it more. Guys are like, I want to make her come, I want to make her ejaculate, right? We hear this all the time. It's a common thing. Well, here's the thing, guys. One of the reasons why your woman isn't female ejaculating is because you're not making love to her long enough to get there. It's just that simple. So that's another compelling reason why you would want to be able to last longer than 30 minutes. Okay, we've got one last tip for you, which is if you can go longer than 30 minutes on a regular basis and take her to all of those amazing places that we just described, female ejaculation, altered states of consciousness, multiple orgasms, all that stuff, she will literally be dickmatized.
Meaning she won't get enough of your dick, she will be thinking about you a lot, and she will just only have eyes for you.
Don't you want that? All right, there you go. There are the 6 reasons why you would want to last longer than 30 minutes during lovemaking. Trust me, it is worth it. If you aren't quite there yet, do whatever you can, whether it's to hire us, take one of our courses, find somebody else, but trust me, it will improve your sex life tremendously.
And let us know in the comments below what you discover when you start to have lovemaking for a much longer period of time. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video.